So I thought I already did this comparison. I would have sworn that I did the 2023 Derek Lunsford versus 1999 Ronnie Coleman. I didn't. A couple of channels did. I did 2022 Derek Lunsford versus 99 Coleman. But I cannot believe I thought shortly after the Olympia. But any which way, guys, I hate to start the video off like that, but I'm sure all of those other YouTubers can attest that it can be a very tricky thing to start off the YouTube video. That's why a lot of them have their classic, all right, you guys, or your hello, everyone, or, there's a lot of beginnings like that. It calms the tension at the beginning. I don't know. I just always like to randomly start them like this. Anyway, there's the tension. A little bit awkward. Cue the cricket noise. Maybe a little bit of powdered sugar. Front double bicep pose. And like I said, I did the 2022 Derek Lunsford. He is much better here. This is the finals. For those of you who were wondering, when am I ever going to use the finals of Derek? Because he did look a lot better. That's when he closed the door on Hattie Shupin. Sorry, Hattie lovers and Derek haters. Yes, Brother Derek. Is he defeating Brother Coleman? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. He can't use his political powers against his opponents like he did at the Olympia. He can't do that with Coleman. They have equal pull. If you know what I mean. If you take it as a joke, you can. If not, then take it serious. The torso heap of Derek Lunsford is right there with Coleman. And if you remember, I did the best torso heaps of all time, and Coleman wasn't first in line. He was for everything else, I'm sure, legs, arms, back. But as far as just the torso heap and the front double, I almost like Derek's. But do not get ahead of yourself. Do not hit thumbs down. For those of you who did already, take it away. Because of course, guys, Ronnie's... He's flattening Derek so hard here that it makes the pancake of the week jealous. Go to the next shot. See what happens when I try to script funny moments? That pancake was a Mikey's Iron Rage reference. Hope you're doing well, Mikey. We love you, man. We love you. Well, some of us do, anyway. The front lat spread is not even funny. It's not the finals for Derek, first of all. Interesting. I took those little slicers out from behind Derek so you could see the actual silhouette. I don't think that color, that flavor of the backdrop was doing anybody any favors. Just an old screen. When you try to make the screen black, it turns gray and fuzzy. It gets even worse. And if you had a nice dark backdrop, a la the Detroit Pro. Again, guys, Detroit Pro, best lighting. But I mean, you can talk through this all you want. Torso heap or not. Actually, Coleman, a much better torso heap. Much better wheels. Much better everything than Brother Derek. Poor Derek. Poor Derek. Can the current Mr. Olympia get any headway from the turn to the side? Well, from the lower half, he exhibits a type of condition that would be reminiscent of a King Coleman. Look at the size of Ronnie's arms. Did I missize this? Oh, jeez Louise. Man, oh man. Imagine if Coleman, he competed nowadays. Of course, there is guys like your Ronnie Colemans nowadays and your Andrew Jacks and your Michael Crisos, but they didn't exhibit all the completeness like Coleman. So there is guys that like Samson, things of that nature, that probably can beat Brother Derek in the side tricep. This is a bad pose for Coleman. I'll admit it. And I apologize to you Colemanites. I always have respect for you guys. No, I don't follow your religion. If he's losing a shot, I will say he's losing the shot. But you guys know that I tell the truth. And he is the greatest, guys. There's There's no way Derek's going to win this one. But every once in a while, you guys like to see an old, say like a UFC 1 or 2 style matchup where it's just a brutal beating altogether. But good Derek the Good, he probably winning in the midsection. And other than the midsection, Derek is primo stuff in the side tricep. Always liked his side tricep. Now we get to the back, and this is the situation that I think we have all been waiting for. Derek's only hope. It's his strong point. The back. Is he beating Coleman in the back? Well, that just so happens to be... Is it Coleman's strong point? He has so many strong points. I think it is. When you look at the hamstrings, glutes, butterfly, buttocks, and the back itself. Oh, the traps are Mount Angus. The lats are huge bulbous. Derek, very dry, I would wager to say, just as popcornery as this King Coleman. Both negative. -2 for Derek. -3 for Coleman. Here's the rear double. Foolishness. Not that foolish, though. Ooh, maybe I missized this one. Maybe not. But Derek's back. This is, I think, as close as any other pose in this one for good Derek. Derek the Good. And for Coleman the Great, I mean, it's a matchup in the back itself. Keep in mind, guys. Derek's back, one of the best ever. It really is. We're down on him because he's current, but this back double by will go down in history. It's etched like a Phil Heath. He is giving Coleman a run for the money, or a run for his money in the back, but not the arms, not the legs, not the hamstrings, not really anything else, but just the lats itself. So kudos to Derek. Be like if he was in a boxing match. He'd get buff. He'd get hit back and forth. Couple more buff, boof. But he didn't get knocked out, did he? No. Here's the abs and thigh. A pose in which you're not going to show this one. You're not going to have this made into a poster. Imagine Derek walks into a gym. Or even Coleman walks into a gym that is dedicated to them. And this picture here of them is there all painted big on the side of the wall. Could you imagine? Even I'd say, holy suffering, boys. You couldn't have picked a worse picture? My soul. Here is Derek in a better light. So, yeah, you could also say, if you are not a stickler on the actual abs and thigh, if you are letting this, I could do a Frank Zane comparison, and I could use his ab, or just the vacuum. I'm sure not too many people would complain, but more people complain about Derek. I think it's because his abs and thighs, maybe a 2, and his vacuum is a 9. A 9. If you excuse the little, what do I call it? The slapped on clay. I almost forgot for a second. The slapped on clay. Here's the most muscular to just put this one to rest. Because there's no real sense of beating around the bush in an abs and thigh when Coleman he's more muscular. He's got a bigger structure. Now, Derek's structure is good. He has a wide clavicle if you compare him with like a Lee Priest or something like that. Similar structure as far as their height. But then you look at the midsection width, the shoulder width. Other than his height, he's got a perfect structure. But Coleman, he does too. And he's a big giant stud. Studley Moore. Almost 6 feet plus. He's almost 6 feet plus. Did you guys hear that? It's like if you can almost bench 500 pounds. I can almost bench over 500 pounds. Can you do 5? Well, no. Wow. Crab position to end this one, and good, Brother Derek. Brother Derek the Good, I should say. Hallelujah. And Ronnie Coleman, they went toe to toe, and he takes second place, which is good. You get a silver medal, Derek. That's pretty good in a match with Coleman. Because in a match with Coleman in his prime, that is all anybody can hope to wish for, is a second place. So having said that, I really hope you enjoyed today's presentation. And I wasn't mocking Derek or his belief systems, or Coleman and his belief systems. And that should be, I guess, a lesson for life. If it's not your belief system, it's somebody else's. So you don't want them making fun of your belief system, do you? So, having said that, that's a little bit too heavy for Triple M. But you guys know I love you. And I'm sure you love working out. Have a great one.